All right, that's enough of that shit. We know everything's working well. Welcome back to another episode of Tactical Pineapple Live, where it is our not bi-weekly survive 5 minutes and we'll get through it stream because Mama Pineapple's home, which means we also have a guest this week because I don't have to worry about rushing somebody off due to naked child or crying toddler. So without further ado, we're going to bring him on. It is the one, the only GunDoctor TV.
How's it going?
You, sir?
I am great. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Not too bad. We are definitely off to a decent start. YouTube doesn't seem to bug me today. They're leaving us alone. They say we got a good connection. So we're gonna take real quick second, and we're gonna actually make sure we break that real quick because within the first 7 minutes you have to set the tone for the stream, for YouTube to understand exactly who you are, where you're from, and what you're about to do. So I can't help myself. I literally have to fucking do this. We're gonna share the system audio. We're gonna share this, and then we're gonna go right here because you know exactly where we're going.
Shut up! Listen to me.
Suck my you man.
Listen.
Suck my.
You will be here in the court on
You'll
Monday.
be here sucking my.
Well, listen to me now.
Yourself.
Let me tell you how this is gonna work. You're gonna
You
be.
ain't gonna tell me shit.
Listen.
Suck my.
Shut up! Listen to me.
Suck my. Man.
Listen.
Suck my.
You will be here in the court on
You'll
Monday.
be here sucking my.
Well, listen to me now.
Yourself.
Let me tell you how this is gonna work.
All right, I think we've settled that up. We know exactly where we're going with this. It is that kind of a week.
It really
I think
is.
pretty much everybody in this room stands with JSD Supply. If you guys are unfamiliar with that little video clip, that was compliments of Trollworks on Instagram. He did that, put it up there. There's plenty of them. I've shared a couple things through the week in the Discord. So obviously the description of this video, you can head down there. There's a couple ways to support them. There's the Give, Send, Go, which apparently right now is for some reason locked up. So go to their website, buy a t-shirt, because that seems to be the only way that nobody can fuck with them. There is a Mario in the chat, so we'll take one more second and give Mario what he needs to see to have himself a good fucking day.
Penetration! You didn't like that? Oh, what about this? Penetration!
Yeah, penetration. And that's basically what the ATF's trying to do to JSD Supply right now. So
It really is.
The thing is, there's a lot of people making comments out there doing this, doing that. They're not doing anything illegal. The way I see it, I think that they're just doing what they should, running a business. And certain individuals shouldn't fuck with that. And I think that's where they're going to find themselves in a world of hurt. I imagine actions like this are going to find themselves very quickly ending up in the same route and pattern as the Ministry of Truth. I mean, the Bureau of Misinformation.
Yeah, that was kind of a flop, right?
Yeah. It's a good thing it was a flop because it lets us know that people actually fucking care. They got up and did something, screamed enough about it, and the federal government went, well, maybe we don't want to pick that fight right now. So
Yeah, and you know what's crazy though? I think CNN's live stream service lasted longer than this truth minister did. So that was something special.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting one. Real quick rundown in the chat. We've got El Tenda jumping in saying, hey, Operator Tony was first, but he texts and drives a bus, according to Crazy Eyes, who called him out for it anyways. That's not true. If anybody's watching that happens to know who Operator Tony is, I'm pretty sure he was on break when I posted this video. If he wasn't, good luck proving it was him. And then, of course, GDT, GunDoctor TV in the house. Miss K is here. Guessing a come over from GunDoctor because I'm not familiar with the name. Welcome to the channel. Hope I don't disappoint you too much. So there's that.
Yeah, I dropped a quick little video letting my subscribers know.
Oh, excellent, cool. Not necessary, but I kind of like to give everybody a second to say where they're from. So, I mean, Chamber of Defense is here. Always good to see him. Coop is also in the house. Love Coop. He's come in and been interrupted by my kids a couple of times. Bacon's here, of course. Our regularly scheduled Spixican comes in with Burnaby Sanchez, and I can say that don't fucking get on me, YouTube. It's fine. He laughed about it the last time. If he didn't like it, he'd have told me. And if he didn't tell me, it's his fucking fault, not mine. So... Coop, obviously, operator Tony Switchpod, another new one in here. Knows who Eltenda is. That's cool. If you aren't familiar, Eltenda does a very unique channel. Gaming, toys, guns, man, dude. It's a perfect channel. It's everything he likes, and that's what matters. So it's a good fun mix there. CNT, Mrs. Pineapple insane, but the kids want daddy tonight, but I can try to stop them. Yeah, it's all right. So all you got to do is stand in their way or trip them down the stairs. That'll hold them up for a little bit. And that's, again, I'm joking. Mario. And then, of course, yes, I'm always a disappointment. I'll leave that one sit up there for a minute because it's from the wife. So you know it's true. Mario needs the new penetration video featuring him, says Operator Tony. Oh, man, you guys are asking for a lot, but you know what? It is okay. We can do that.
Penetration! You didn't like that? Oh, what about this? Penetration!
There you go. Crazy Eyes is only here for the moobs, and that's okay. We can give him a little bit of a, hey, only for OnlyFans, motherfucker. If you can find it, you can pay for it. Yeah, little man will just fly down the steps. That's pretty much true. But like I said, we'll keep that up there. Pineapple is always a disappointment. But if we do find something you like, you can always support us, tacticalpineapple.com/express. That's where our Tactical Pineapple Express holsters are. Good stuff. We are shipping. Literally, my manufacturer is apparently bored. We will be putting up some new things potentially this coming week. He's now making... plate carriers out of Kydex, which is interesting. So
that is interesting.
Something interesting to see. And those will not be sold by me. Those will be sold under him. I'll just advertise him because he's a good shit veteran as well. Just trying to do his own thing and have some fun. He's also making tourniquet holsters. So side mounted, so they fit right along the belt. Perfect holsters. And you can, and the best part is they are made for prepped tourniquets, not for just, hey, look, I got a tourniquet. So
awesome.
they actually work what they need to. So
tourniquets are super important.
Very super important. I honestly, and this is the thing, I think honestly, medical is more important than the defense weapon because, and you can use it a lot more places. Motorcycle accident. I'm a biker. I get on my bike. Motorcycle accident. You never know what's going to happen. Absolutely. Having a tourniquet at hand could be the difference between life and death. So, also as a first responder, you never know what you're going to need. So, it's definitely something good to have. I've done a lot of talking. That's normal. But I want to let you kind of introduce yourself, where you're from, what you're about, what your channels are about, because you have more than one channel.
I do.
And everything else. For those, anything he talks about, Linktree is in the description of this video as well. So most of those things, everything that's on his Linktree, you can find. So
awesome. Yeah. Well, my name is Daniel. I run GunDoctor TV. I'm also the Kentucky State Director for Gun Owners of America. So I wear many hats. I don't know, not a lot to say about me. I love guns. I love freedom, and I would like to see a lot more freedom.
That is fair.
Yeah.
A man of few words. That's all right. Let the actions speak for themselves. He's very modest. He gets around in a good way. He's constantly out there in the 2A community doing good work. If you watch John Crump, if you watch DLD After Dark, any of those guys, I'm sure you've seen them before. Some of the things that are out there. Another one that was posted this week for a JSD Supply, DLD After Dark, if you're not familiar. I know everybody here is familiar. He's been on my show. I've been on his show. Get over there, check out his video for this week. It's short, it's sweet. Took him a lot of editing, which is something DLD doesn't do at all, which is probably way outside of his comfort zone. But he did a goddamn good job of it, and that's pretty much where the Trollworks video came from. Anybody who was in that video ended up in the Trollworks video. So that's that, and even more because he went a little bit extra. So
yeah,
the goddamn Megan says, "Wait, there's a bad way to get around." Technically, there could be a bad way to get around. Some of the bad ways to get around could end up with herpetogonosyphilitis, mini-me's, little children that are unwanted. We discussed that a little bit before the show. I'm like, I got 2 really little ones. I believe we're pretty close in age. So it's interesting to see the juxtaposition. You have older children. I have younger children. I say I started late, which is probably a good thing because if I did start earlier, I would have fucked my kids up really bad. Now they're fucked up, but just not horribly. So,
well, luckily my wife, she stepped in for all my shortcomings. So,
oh yeah. See, we complete each other. So
yeah,
we have some really interesting shortcomings, but my kids learn, the full vernacular of language. It is what it is. You grow up around firefighters, bikers, and people in the military. There's only one thing and it's that fuck is actually glue for the English language. So it holds everything else together.
Yeah. Life does seem to bring that out of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't say shit, Dad. Yeah. That's the new thing. My daughter, we tell her that she's not supposed to say the words. So when I say it all the time, she'll be like, Dad, you're not supposed to say shit. Well, you just said shit. I know, but I was telling you not to say shit. Don't say shit. Shit is not a word we say. We don't say shit like that. And it goes on for an hour, and she ends up laughing. And then like 2 days later, my wife's telling me, yeah, your daughter told me that I should shit or get off the pod or something stupid. Well, at least she knows how to use the words properly. So,
hey,
Iron Wing says, hope I'm not too late. No, you are right on time.
Definitely not, brother.
There's never a time that's actually late, especially for my show. There's never any cohesion. We just kind of go and do our thing. So, anything you're working on that you want to talk about?
Well, I've got quite a few things I'm working on besides the channel. I'm working on a documentary, a TV show, and a few other things coming down the pipe. Got
busy guy.
Pretty busy. Now, I was already on a TV show last year, Surviving Man, and that kind of led to what I'm doing now. So,
okay,
yeah, it's a pretty good deal.
I was unaware of that. See, this is the thing. See, like I'm recently new to your channel.
Okay.
Kind of come across. I've seen you in the chat, the live chat, a couple times, and as much as I would love to watch everybody's videos, like all of them, I very rarely get a chance to. And if I do, it's like in the background. So sometimes it's like I know a voice better than I know the face. And I'm like, oh, wait, who is that? And then I see it and I'm like, oh, shit, that's him.
Yeah, same here, man. Well, in the channels I watch, I'm a huge nerd. So I'm always watching really nerdy stuff like Star Wars stuff, gun stuff, of course. But yeah, I'm a huge nerd and a movie buff and filmmaking buff. So nice. I'm always scouring the YouTubes. Man, YouTube can lead you to some strange places.
That is very, very true. It's interesting how much YouTube knows your psyche, though. Like, I started a completely new channel. I've got like 18 subscribers. I don't watch shit for videos on it. And I've got like all my recommended videos are like interviews of serial killers and shit. And I'm like,
right.
You know too much. This is fucking weird.
My wife is a true crime nerd. So that stuff's always popping up in my feed. And strangely, like lawn mowing videos. There's a whole subgenre of lawn mowing videos.
Lawn mowing videos and pressure washing.
Yes.
And as soon as you get into lawn mowing, you start seeing pressure washing. And then there's shrub cutting. And then there's what? I don't know why. I don't like mowing my own lawn. It's a chore. Why would I watch somebody else mow? And then I'm an hour and a half into a video of a guy cleaning up a lawn that hasn't been mowed in 6 months.
Right.
Why?
See, I'm all about that lawn mowing life, though. I just got a 0 turn, and I am tickled pink with it. Yeah. I got like 2 acres to mow, so it's quite a yard.
Yeah, I've got like 3/4 of an acre, which isn't a lot. But I I would be happy turning it all to peat moss. I'm not a huge fan of like it's to me it's a waste of time. It's the same thing as like riding a motorcycle. I know a lot of guys who are like, "Oh man, let's go for a ride," and then like I'm like, "Okay, when do you want to go?" And they're like, "Well, I got to wash the bike first, and then I got to polish it, and then I got to wax it. So how about meet up in 2.5 hours?" I'm like, "That's 2.5 hours I could be fucking riding. Like I don't have time for that. My bike hasn't been washed unless a dealership did it, literally in 4 years." I just don't have time for that shit.
Yeah.
It's dirty. Your bike's dirty. Yeah, I ride it. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what kind of bike do you have?
I got a 2014 Street Glide.
Nice.
Before that, I had a 92 Softail Lowrider. Loved the bike. Wanted to do a ton of things to it. And then when I graduated college, my wife's like, "You want to do so much to that bike and all that money you're going to put into it. Why don't you just go buy a new bike? It'd be like a graduation present." And I'm like, twist my arm. and she went to twist my arm, and I pulled the sleeves up on my sweatshirt. It was 50 degrees, maybe even less. I think it was colder than that. It might have been like 40 degrees, and rode an hour and a half to the dealership and didn't come home until I had a new bike. So
Outstanding.
No, couldn't let her change her mind on that. And now she talks all the time that I could sell it at any time because she's not a huge fan. She never really was. She's like, "I like Harleys. I just never wanted to own one."
Yeah.
I didn't give her much of an option. I know that.
I've never owned a Harley, so I've only owned Hondas. So
there's nothing wrong with either of them. So she's like, "Now you can sell it." No, I got it. I'm good. We're good. Yeah. Crazy Eyes says 40 degrees. Fuck you. I'm like, 40 degrees? The other day I rode my motorcycle to work. It was 36 degree air temperature on the bike.
Oh, that's rough.
That's not bad. Like it was, you didn't need coffee that morning.
I'd imagine. Might have needed to thaw out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it just takes a little while for things to move again. But I mean, I'm also fat, so you can chalk it up to a lot of things.
You know, I ride in 70-degree weather, and I'm like, yeah, it's a little chilly. I might throw a jacket on. You got me messed up with that, man.
Oh man, I have a jacket. The thickest thing that I've worn in about 3 years is a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's obviously I live in Wisconsin. They consider us what is it, East Central Wisconsin. So and I'm right off the lake. My house is on top of a hill right next to a lake. So we get down to negative 30 degrees, and
oh yeah, screw that.
I'm outside shoveling snow in shorts and a sweatshirt.
How warm does it get in the summer?
Last year I think we got up to like 102.
Really?
So we got a pretty good swing. Interestingly, last week, one day it was 30 degrees in the morning, and it was 90 degrees in the afternoon.
Now, is that low or high humidity?
For the most part, I'd say it's moderate humidity.
Yeah.
Where you're from, you're used to like the high humid heat.
Oh, we have terrible humidity here.
Yeah, and I get it. There's a difference. There's a big difference. I also say it's kind of there's pluses and minuses all over the board. So
absolutely,
I've been in the middle of the desert in Arizona in the middle of the summer, and it's like riding through hell with Satan licking your asshole with sandpaper.
See, my wife is constantly cold, so if it's 80 degrees in the house, she's like, "I need a heater." So when we went and filmed that TV show out in Vegas, she fell in love with it. I've barely convinced her to stay in Kentucky, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I literally, my wife is the opposite, which is great because, I mean, she's always cold, but she never asks for the heater because she also understands that I keep the house cold because it's cheaper. But I mean, in the winter, I keep my house at like 65 degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, if you're cold, there's a blanket there, there's a blanket there, there's a blanket there, and a blanket there, and you're sitting right next to a fireplace. So go ahead, you can light that fire up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of guns are you into, man? You an AR guy? You an AK guy? Or?
I'm more of a practical guy. I guess I've explained it to the wife. So I'm more of the type of person, like, I don't need 16 guns that all do one thing. I need one gun that does that well.
Gotcha.
And then there's that one that does that well. So I've got shotgun, I've got rifle, I've got an AR, I've got pistols, I've got, it depends on what the purpose is. I've got a little something for anything.
Fair enough.
If I need to take a moose out, I got something for it. I need to, take out a tyrant, I've got something for that. I need to protect my house, I've got something for that. So
outstanding. I'm with you there.
That's my thing. I'd rather, and it's also having the little ones around. It's definitely different. And also, Miss Pineapple even says it. You would have more if it wasn't for me, I'm sure. I probably would. My wife's not anti-gun. She's coming around to them. She was raised in a family. Things were different.
Yeah.
But on top of that, too, I would probably have more if I didn't go through 14 years as a felon. So up until January 2020, I was a felon for 14-ish years, 14 and a half. Young and dumb, got drunk, stole somebody's vehicle, ran from the cops, 9 cops to put me in handcuffs. It was a mess, and I had a shitty public defender because I was a kid.
Right. Young and dumb, it happens, brother.
Right. I mean, and the thing is in America today, there's more ways you can become a felon than there are ways that you can. Here, there's more ways to become a felon than there are genders in 2022.
That is incredible.
So, just rephrase it. Like, it's the truth. I mean, you can literally become a felon writing a bad check.
Yes.
Like, it is not what the forefathers had expected.
No.
When they said, well, heinous, acts, which became felonies, would be the restricting factor. Like, that meant you fucking killed somebody and you didn't have a reason for doing it.
Right.
Like, because it wasn't about killing somebody. I mean, these are the same people who at one point had laws that literally said it was okay to kill Native Americans if they were walking in a group of more than 2 or 3 people because that was a war party.
Right.
Like, you had to have a reason, though.
Yeah. But I'm glad you got your rights back, man. That's incredible.
It took a long time. It took a lot of fighting, and
I bet.
And it doesn't happen for everybody. And
that's true.
Advocate for anybody in the state of Wisconsin. Do what you can now, because this is the interesting thing about that. And this is a crazy juxtaposition, but being on the opposite side, I've learned that the people who are more likely to want to take your rights away by creating a felony state are also the individuals who are more likely to give you your rights back. The Democratic Party has for years attempted to create felons of the citizens because that's the only way that they can restrict gun access to everybody easily. Because if you're a law-abiding citizen, you become a felon, you now are going to turn in your guns or do something with them so that you don't no longer possess them because you don't want to go to jail for 10 years plus 1 for every bullet. So you do what you have to get rid of it. Now, as a felon, I can say I followed the law. Like, I had to. Like, there's no way I'm not. It's a hefty penalty. Like, it is literally 10 years for a gun, and it's a year for every bullet that you're caught with. So,
and it's absolutely ridiculous.
Hunting gun, if I would have kept that, that'd have been 120 fucking years easily. I'm not about that. So,
hey, Joe's in the chat. Shooting Gallery, New England.
Yeah, he was here actually 2 weeks ago already. He was our last guest. Good to see you in here. But yeah, that whole deal was interesting in the fact that you look at it from that perspective, but then underneath Republican control, they're less likely to grant pardons and retrieval of sentencing because they believe in the judicial system being all perfect and high and mighty.
Yeah, and it's absolutely not. As somebody who spent years in law enforcement, it is definitely not.
Right.
It is a rigged system.
Yes, it very much. I learned that literally on my sentencing day. I was railroaded into take a plea bargain because X, Y, Z, which was really interesting because I literally sat in the courtroom and the person in front of me was a teacher from one of the local schools who was being prosecuted for sexual assault of one of his students. He got 6 months probation. I had a 6-year withheld sentence. Like, I took an 89 Suburban and crashed it into a tree, and then it took 9 cops to put handcuffs on me.
Yeah, it's so weird that things like that can affect your gun rights.
Yeah.
You know, I'm of the mindset shall not be infringed is set in stone.
Well, even I agree, but even to the point where, like, okay, while I'm while I'm sentenced and I'm doing my, service to the community and everything that I need to do and paying back my sentence, fine. I fucked up. It's a penalty. But once you've paid your penalty, you should regain those rights.
Yeah, we should start a conversation like that. I see a lot of people, get caught up over trivial shit that, leads to felonies, possession charges, stuff like that. And it's just, there are so many laws in this country that it is absolutely mind-blowing. It's almost like the people that are selected to represent us feel like they have to leave a legacy of laws behind them.
Yeah, I would agree.
And our representatives are slowly becoming our rulers, and it was never meant to be that way. I don't know what the immediate fix is for stuff like this, but I think ending the drug war would be a good start, among a few other things. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really glad to see you fight through that and really, fight to get your rights back, because your story could be inspirational to others who could potentially be in the same boat you're in today.
Right.
So I think
agree.
I think your story is something that should be shared.
Yeah, and I've done some sharing of it and talked about it quite a bit, but the thing is too is like it's an understanding, and I've got something that I've been kind of working on in the background. Eventually it'll come out. But it's I've done these panel talks. I did one about mental health. I plan on doing one here in the upcoming. Eventually, it'll happen about felons and gun ownership and stuff like that. But it's an interesting thing because there's a lot of guys too, even in the gun community, that do discuss a lot of things. And sorry, tactical mute. There's a lot of guys in the gun community who have varying opinions on it, and it's interesting, when you start talking to people who are like longtime law enforcement, this and that. There's a lot of guys out there that, and you get the crowd that's all like, oh, the fucking jackboots and bootlickers and they're just assholes. I've honestly only met a few really dickhead cops. But even then, those dickhead cops, for the most part, weren't about to do half the shit people think they're going to do. They're just dickheads. Like,
yeah,
shit
absolutely.
went to their head. There's no reason that, there should be an 18-year-old fucking cop out here trying to fucking, pull his dick out and show everybody what's up. But it happens. It happens, especially in little communities. It's hard for a small community to get a decent cop with a good, set, because they're coming into a community that's not going to pay them a ton.
Absolutely.
It's not a sexy job.
When I started out in law enforcement, I made $8 an hour. And, I didn't do it for the money, that's for sure. There are tons of cops that, abuse that power and do let that power go to their head. And there are good cops out there. I'm not anti-cop, but I'm probably the most cop-hating ex-cop that you'll ever meet. But I'm definitely not anti-cop. But I do see the potential for the tyranny. They're the fist that the government uses.
Right.
And there's no law, no matter how minor, that can get you shot. And I do think that there needs to be some reform and a good hard look at policing. City cops versus country cops, it's a big difference. I was in this small community. My chief police, he pushed community policing, and he was really about the community. And
right.
Sorry, I got somebody talking to me. So I was really lucky in that aspect. But there are a lot of cops out there that, like you said, let the power go to their head. And I think there needs to be more of a dialogue between people and cops. That's the only way we're going to really fix this is to bring the cops around from looking at people as the enemy, as the people they protect. I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
It's getting back to more like you live in the community, you work in the community, you're a part of this community. Like, it's of the people, by the people, and for the people, right?
Yeah.
You know, your jury of your peers, what that really means. You know, getting back to that actionable line of verbiage is what's needed, because here in 2022, you really do. You have a lot of cops who are outside. They live outside of the community because of fear of retribution inside of the community. They're coming in and they're doing whatever they can to, you know, push their job, do this, do that. And what it leads to is a lack of, you know, judicial discretion, right? That cop doesn't know that community. That cop doesn't know how the people in that community act or behave. And that's a big deal. Laws were always meant to kind of oversee the governance between one jurisdiction and another, not necessarily a single jurisdiction.
Right.
The community polices the community. It's the externals that need policing inside of your new community because they don't know how things are processed.
Right.
But at the same time, it's about, you know, teaching those individuals about that community and not necessarily, you know, turning them into a paycheck for the community. And I think that's a lot of where it's gone. I mean, you see it, and my favorite thing is when, you know, you talk about quotas and stuff like that. I know from people I've talked to, there's no such thing as a quota, but there is a required number of contacts.
Yeah, it really varies department to department.
Right.
But legally, there cannot be a quota because, you know, that sets up the potential for all kinds of dirty stuff.
Right. In our local community, we have what's known as a required number of contacts. It doesn't have to be a bad.
Right.
It was never meant to be that way, but the police always generally use it as, okay, I've got 5 days left in the month. I am sitting at this point in the freeway because I know every motherfucker goes 6 miles an hour over the speed limit right there.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's a highway that literally goes from 70 miles an hour speed limit to 55 mile an hour to 65 mile an hour in about 6 miles.
Right.
Yeah, everybody's speeding there. Like, your cruise control is set from the last 46 miles.
They call it speed traps for a reason. And they are. You know, I spent a lot of time when I was patrolling, like helping old ladies change tires. I did a lot of community policing like that. Even one time I helped somebody carry groceries. And, you know, there's a lot of little things that you can do to show that, you know, you're there for the people. And I would like to see more cops do that.
Yeah. Yeah. The wife points out, she goes, "You got off one day because they gave a ticket to your neighbor." I did. I was going, I don't know, I had my cruise control set at like 62, 63 in a 55. Wasn't paying attention and just fucking went right by. You know, cop pulled me over. I pulled over. All right, this, that. Yeah, concealed carries here, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And he comes up and he's like, "You know how fast you were going?" And I said, "Honestly, I think I was going about 62, 63. That's where I had cruise control set." And he goes, "You know the speed limit?" And I said, "Yeah, it's 55. He's like, "I see where you're from." He goes, "They literally just gave a ticket to your neighbors, so you can go home and tell them I gave you a warning."
Wow.
Well, apparently he was a dickhead. I wasn't. So
yeah. Well, you know, attitude does determine a lot of it.
Yeah, I, honestly, since I've changed my attitude and haven't been a young punk, I haven't gotten a ticket. Knocking on wood, because I don't like go into it that way. I'm like, you're just doing a job. 90% of the time, you're just doing a job. If you want to be a dick about it, go ahead and be a dick about it. You're gonna get it back. I'm gonna reciprocate. Like, I can do that.
I'll let you in on a little secret. A lot of cops won't tell you this. Now, the academy in Ohio, where I trained, you know, basically they trained us in a way to where we decide if we're going to give a ticket before we even get out of the car. When we initiate the stop, you know, before we get out of the car, we decide whether we're going to give it a ticket or not. Now, that can change, you know, based upon attitude and, you know, cop to cop. But I've known cops to give tickets to every person they pull over, you know. So it really is, it depends on the cop. Hey, you care if I switch gears here for a second?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Iron Wing in the comments, he asked my comments on the Rossi new model gallery gun.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Oh great.
Yeah. That's I would like to shoot one. I own one of the original gallery guns, and it is so worn out. There's barely any rifling in it, and it was an actual gallery gun, so it got quite a bit of use. But it still works. It still functions. Shoots kind of accurate.
The Rossi guns are interesting to me. I've always liked the lever action, and maybe it comes from. Yes, I know I date myself. Probably put some FUD lore over my head. My first hunting rifle was my grandfather's 30-30 lever action rifle.
That my dad bought me a Winchester 30-30, and that's what I deer hunted with when I started out.
And that was my first hunting rifle that I didn't own my own. Like it was the one that I was 12 years old, and they're like, here's your 6-to-1 scope on a 30-30. You're never gonna like, oh shit. Yeah. Never got a damn thing because I could never fucking get a sight window on it with it.
So what's the terrain like up there for hunting? Is it kind of flat or hilly?
It's shitty.
Yeah.
No, we've got hills. We've got lots of hills. It depends on where you hunt, though. There's a lot of spots that could be flat. It just depends on the part of the state. Where I'm at, everything is pretty wooded, kind of rolling hills.
Yeah.
Literally within a mile from my house, we've got a place called Seven Hills. The elevation changes over 1,000 feet in a mile and a half.
Nice.
Like it's crazy, but it's not like a straight up. It's up and down and up and down and up and down and up. It's 7 hills, and there's literally 7 of them, and each one gets higher. It's like it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, in Kentucky,
don't travel on those roads in winter.
We'll just say that. Fair enough. Yeah, Kentucky, it's pretty bad in the winter. At least where I'm at, I'm in the foothills of the mountains, so it is very hilly and very woody. About the longest shot you're going to get here is around 200, 300 yards where I'm at.
I mean, we can get some longer shots, mostly because we do a lot of farmland. So then you'll be sitting at the edge of the woods out next to a cornfield or something like that. Then you can get yourself a good 1,000-yard shot because we've got fucking massive cornfields.
Oh yeah, you would be lucky to shoot 1,000 yards in Kentucky. You're at least shooting hillside to hillside if you're going to do something like that.
Yeah. But I mean, for us, even then, you're not really taking that shot, right? I mean, it's deer hunting. I'll take 1,000-yard shot deer hunting with a 338 Lapua or bigger, because I know I don't even have to hit that sumbitch and it's going to drop.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, it ain't happening. My general deer rifle 30-06 was what I went to after that. And then I actually went from a 30-06 to an SKS because I'm like, this is a lot more comfortable to shoot.
Definitely a lot less recoil.
Yeah, definitely a lot less recoil, especially because the 30-06 was chopped into a scout profile. So it was not meant for shooting from your shoulder in a deer stand. It was meant for shooting from a bipod on the ground. Not very comfortable at all.
Yeah.
But it did the trick. It did put some meat on the table, so that's all that matters. And then now I've got a 308. So
outstanding. Now I'm a sucker for long range shooting. I mainly on my channel I shoot pistols and do trick shots and stuff. But that's my weakest discipline for sure. I'm definitely more comfortable with a rifle. Right. I'm getting ready to start competing in long range.
Okay. Yeah, we've, I don't really shoot on my channel. Honestly, anybody who knows my channel knows that I don't really do anything on my channel anymore. We'll get back to it. I've been kind of burnt out. I chose to just do political commentary on this channel, and it's just such a shit show right now.
It is.
I'm just so burnt out on it. I'm just like, I'm gonna go back to doing my live streams on this show, and then I've got another channel which is Pineapple's Garage, which I post moto vlogs and stuff like that on, which is just kind of fun for me. But Mario got to see me shoot. I'm not by no means like a professional shooter at all. There's no competition in me yet, but I can do what I need to do if I need to do it.
Hey, yeah, that's what counts, man.
But yeah, that's where it's at for me.
I recommend all gun owners, if you carry, get training in, handgun proficiency, get training in medical, Highly recommend it.
Yep. I definitely that's the thing too, is like um most in most cases, if you ever have to use your handgun, there's two factors that are going to come into it. Number one, it's going to be close range, and it's going to be high stress is the
Yeah.
second one. Like if you have to do it, um it's literally going to be close enough. It's kind of like just point the fucking thing and pull the trigger, and hope for the best, because if you haven't trained high stress and you don't have a way to train high stress, you're not going to be prepared for it, or you're just not going to pull it at all, because that's a reality a lot of people don't admit.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a process of thought that goes behind it, and in a split second, having to make a decision of, is this a point where I need to take somebody's life? That can make you freeze, and it's enough to cause a problem.
Absolutely.
Um,
I've seen plenty of those high stress situations, and I've even seen cops fall apart under situations like that.
Well, I think a lot of the thing is a lot of guys who train for it or think that they're going to be able to do it are the ones who have a harder time, because they focus so hard on the actions of actually doing it. They haven't focused at all on the implications of having to do it.
Right.
And I think the people who are more hesitant to even carry are the ones who are more likely to protect themselves, because they've come to the realization that there is a point where they will do it no matter what. And that's why they're going to carry. I think my wife is one of them. I don't think, like, and I know we've talked about it before, that she's one that she's like, I only carry because of my kids and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but you've thought about the implications of if you have to do it. And she says, I only carry because then it's an extra gun for you, which is great. Thanks. But I believe, honestly, like, there's a point where Mama Bear comes out and you've thought it through enough to know that if that point comes, there's not a hesitation.
Yeah, I mean, moms are going to protect their kids, and regardless of how you feel about guns, your kids, that's an instinct mothers have.
Right.
My wife, she didn't grow up shooting guns. She never shot a gun until she got with me. She started shooting, fell in love, and when I buy a gun, I have to buy her a gun. As a matter of fact, you have a holster I'm looking for, so I'm going to have to get with you on that. She needs a
you're
holster.
aware that my holsters are not meant for concealed carry, right?
Oh, really? Really? Okay,
I
maybe not
I can
then.
hook you up. I can hook you up with the manufacturer. He has the drones. He can make the holsters, and I will gladly do that.
Sweet. Yeah, man.
Oh, hey, look at that Fit and Fire stopping in here. I thought he hated us, but then I realized it's just his his night to do martial arts. So it's not that he hates us. He just stops in. Oh, look at that drive-by high.
Yeah, Fit and Fire is a cool dude. He's a really cool dude.
Good shit. Even if he wears shirts that are 2 sizes too small, according to the BOA.
I'm probably guilty of that myself.
Yeah, I wear shirts that are 2 sizes too small, but it's just because they don't make them in tent size. So,
see, I'm an ex-professional MMA fighter, and I used to always wear medium shirts,
mediums. Yep.
Yeah, and now I still carry that on, but I have a dad bod, so it's not as flattering, My wife, she tries to convince me, that I still got it, but I'm not so sure.
I know how that goes. So I've got like 3 dad bods and then like a couple pineapples in there.
So how did you come up with the name Tactical Pineapple?
So it's been talked about before. It's just kind of like a play on an old gag. So I originally was Boog Brand. So I've got a hat over here. During 2020, I started an apparel company called Boog Brand, and it played on the Boogaloo Boys and the Boogaloo movement and all the memes. It was a meme T-shirt company. It's what we did. We had some freedom stuff. We had some meme stuff. It was all fun and hearty. And then the pandemic hit, and everything went to fuck. Eventually, we ended up getting canceled because my entire brand got associated with the Boogaloo Boys, which was retarded. It was a nightmare, to the point where my manufacturing companies weren't even working with me anymore because they're like, we don't associate with terrorism and blah, blah, blah.
Incredible.
And then my payment processor shut me off on a Friday going into a sale week. And it's like, oh, this was a great time to literally pull my credit card processing. Brandon Herrera just put my flag up in his background.
Nice.
Thanks. So
Yeah.
I'm like, this is phenomenal. I'm going to run a
Yeah.
sale on a weekend. I can't even process payments.
Yeah, that was a weird period when all that went down.
Yeah.
You know, companies were jumping on the woke bandwagon, and yeah,
and it's still happening. But
it is.
I survived a little bit after that. My wife says he should have listened to his wife. I should have. I opened a company based on it. And I'm like, I'm like, the name is going to go away. I got a notification somebody else is looking to buy it. I got to buy boogbrand.com right now. I'm like, so I did, and it worked out for a little bit. We did really, really well right up until they canceled everything, and then I was able to survive for a year afterwards with like no payments and no processing, no anything. I'm like, time to shut it down.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So then I'm like, well, I need a name for the channel because now I'm actually enjoying doing this. So, Tundra Tactical absolutely hates pineapple on pizza. I always played a joke.
I'm with him on that.
I always played a joke on people who pissed me off when I worked in pizza. Maybe not a joke. Some people might really hate this idea, but if you grind up pineapple and mix it in with the spaghetti with the pizza sauce, and then pour it on the pizza, you have tactically hidden pineapple in somebody's pizza.
That's true.
It's tactical pineapple.
Tactical pineapple.
So the tactical pineapple was camouflaged in the pizza. And a lot of people would call and be like, yo, that fucking pizza was amazing. I need another one. It's like, yeah, you just had pineapple on your pizza.
Incredible.
So
yeah, I just don't like pineapples in general. So I'm not really.
I'm not a huge fan either. I actually hate pineapple eating it. I'm not a fan at all. It's
not really the taste. It's the texture.
I dislike the texture more than anything in the world. It's like if I wanted to chew on straw, I'd do something like lemongrass or something that's actually
right,
not so like punch you in the mouth sweet. Like, but
Crazy Ass says pineapple belongs on pizza.
Yeah, pineapple does belong on pizza in some instances. I don't believe it's a ham pizza or Hawaiian pizza, which interestingly was designed and made in Canada.
Yeah.
Most Hawaiians actually hate pineapple, believe it or not. So there's also that. So
Christian guys.
I like pizza on pineapple or pineapple on pizza or by itself. Good.
Hey, I mean, if that's what you're into, I mean, go for it, bro.
It's each their own. I mean,
it's just not my thing. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a salty sweet thing. I can understand it. I don't go for it. I've eaten it before. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'll admit it. Like, but I'm like at the same time, no.
Yeah,
not a big fan. But yeah, that's where the name came from. So in
gotcha.
a long roundabout kind of way.
Yeah, see, mine don't have any cool tactical implications like that. So,
but GunDoctor TV, it kind of makes sense, right? You fix a lot of guns.
Yeah. That's how it started. Yeah, it started as an advertisement for a gunsmithing business, and originally it was Kentucky Gun Doctor, and I changed it because I thought GunDoctor TV sounded better.
Right.
And about that time, Hickok45 gave my channel a shout out under the old name.
Oof.
Yeah. So I found out like 5 months later that he gave my channel a shout out because somebody's like, hey, he gave you a pretty good shout out on your video. And I'm like, oh, that's absolutely amazing. So I didn't get any of the rewards from that at all. So,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, it just kind of, I picked it and flew with it.
You got to do what you got to do. And you never know. You never know what's going to happen or who's going to shout you out or whatnot. I'm like, I had huge guests on my podcast or the show when I started. And I could probably go back and ask them to come on again. And I'm like, I did it before.
Yeah.
Even my quality wasn't great. Like, honestly, I'm like, oh, this is going to be the one that's going to set me off. Like, we're going to get a shit ton of people, coming in. I apologize for the noise. We're going to get a shit ton of people coming in and it's going to be huge. And it's like, I think the Brandon Herrera episode I did had like 23 views. Like,
yeah.
This is awesome. Like, it doesn't work that way. I'm like, honestly, I just now have fun with it. I don't care how big a guest is or how little a guest is. I don't give a shit. Like, I just have fun talking to people and it is what it is. And even then, I'm like, I was prepared. Like, I knew Brandon. I knew his community. I knew everything. And it was like, whatever, we're good. And now I'm like, I like to go unprepared because it's more sincere.
Absolutely.
It's not like, oh, dude, I know everything about you. Like, let's talk.
This has been my week for podcasting. This is my third podcast this week.
You've been busy.
I've been busy.
So what other podcasts have you done? Shout them out, because I know, I think I know 2 of them.
Yeah,
you were on DLD.
I was on DLD.
And
DLD. Swamp Dog last night. Swamp Dog Armory.
That's right, Swamp Dog. He did the JSD.
Yeah.
Support
Quite a
stream.
few awesome people on.
Yeah, it was a good one. I wish I could have been there. I can't do those 7-hour streams though. That guy's fucking nuts. Him and Bacon, man, they fucking it wears me out. It wears me out seeing the time that they fucking stream.
Yeah. Well, I run a business, so I have to get up early in the morning. I can't do this. I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah, I actually saw that. I'm like, I'm usually used to, like, if I'm trying to get a hold of somebody and talk to them, I'm like, well, I'll send them a message. They were seen like fucking 2 hours ago at 4:00 in the morning, and I'm like, I'm gonna send him a message, and I look and I'm like, dude, he was on 28 minutes ago. Like, this is great. I'm up early. Like, I don't fucking deal with like this late shit. I'm literally out in the fucking kitchen working this morning because I'm like, I chose to work from home today to allow my wife to do some things with the kids, and I'm like, it's all right, cool, whatever. I'm out here working. I'm like, 8:00 rolls around and my kids are still asleep. Like, what the fuck is this? They don't sleep for 5 minutes when I need them to sleep. But they sleep until 8 in the morning?
Hey, kids are funny that way, man. Hey, Christian Geis, he's only 28 subs from 2K. That is awesome.
Yeah, 28 subs to 2K for you. That is good. That's hard to do in YouTube. You're doing something right. So
it is.
Yeah, my biggest stream honestly was kind of like it was meant to be a pre-recorded video. I had sat down, I was Coda Boy 32 Tactical, great dude. I had him set. My Friday night streams didn't work for him, and Wednesday was what we were scheduled to do. And I'm like, all right, we'll just do a pre-recorded stream. It's cool, Some people just don't. It doesn't work to come on late sometimes, and I'll do that. Did it with Johnny B before. I'm like, whatever, we'll do it that way. It happened to be that Wednesday was January 6th.
Oh, nice.
January 6th.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, there's no way we can pre-record tonight. Do you want to just do this live? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. Let's go live. Awesome. We went live and I gained like 500 subs in like fucking 10 minutes. And
outstanding.
Most of them have stuck around. So, I think I actually had 500 people watching at one point, which was kind of weird, but I'm glad I didn't know because I'd have fucking probably acted like a weirdo. So I think I saw it in chat later. I'm like, did you have like 580 people on? I'm like, well, that's great. Whatever. I'm like, cool. I was just talking to Coda Boy. We were talking about the shit that was going on. I'm like, whatever. But that goes back to the genuine thing. Then Fit and Fire says, gotta go, y'all, but hope all is well. Be safe and keep your head on a swizzle.
Yeah, hey, thanks for stopping by, man.
Cool, Mark. Good shit. Keep putting out those 8K pictures and stuff because it just makes me jealous. Bastard's got a fucking built gun from the man himself.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, he did go ahead and I'm literally fucking right now drawing a blank, which drives me absolutely nuts. Jim Fuller. There we go. I was gonna slap myself in the head to get that one out. Yeah, he went down and did Jim's new build class that he does on the 74s. Oh, God damn it, those guns are beautiful.
They are. They really are.
So
that's awesome, though.
Very jealous, but at the same time, fucker. Yes, Fuller and Tufu. Yes, and if anybody doesn't know, Tufu is now associated with Fuller, professionally as well. So, good for him. I guess he had to do something because Tufu. Are you familiar with Tufu at all?
Yeah.
So the Broken Asian on Instagram, another great dude, been on my channel several times. Huge friend of the channel. Is professionally associated now with Jim Fuller, probably mostly because his business kind of went up shit creek with the Ukraine-Russia shit because if you all don't know, he was importing Russian furniture for AKs and selling it at fulak.com. honestly don't even know if the website's still up because I'm pretty sure he's not getting any imports from Russia at this point. So
yeah, it looks like that river is drying up.
yeah. So I'm not sure how that's going, but we'll get him back on maybe one of these days and have to talk to him about it. So
Awesome,
CNT says, if you don't know Jim Fuller and you own an AK, sell your AK and get a high point. That's pretty much the fucking truth right there. It's not that I didn't know him. I just couldn't fucking think of his name for some goddamn reason. I'm literally like, cars and guns and freedom
happens.
and Jim. It was a bad one there. I almost had an aneurysm.
You know, there's a scientific explanation behind that. You know, like when somebody asks you a name or something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's like your brain misfires and
yeah, it does. I'm used to it a lot though because like I've just had a fucking crazy couple of weeks with work, so that's just the way it is.
Yes, it is.
So I know we said you'd be able to go for about an hour or so.
Yeah.
Plug out what you got going on, man. I want you to.
Okay. Well, I will drop
take
this
all
on here.
18 of my subscribers, man.
No. I will drop this on here. I'm getting ready to do a giveaway. We're giving away a Gucci Glock, a ZevTech that is badass. You can actually find it on my Instagram. Go get a sneak peek of it. That video will be dropping very soon. So be sure to check that out.
Very nice. Very nice. So if you aren't already subscribed, head on down to the description, go to the link tree, click on the damn thing, go to his channel and subscribe. Follow him for that subscription, for the giveaway, everything like that. But I say this all the time. Only follow him if you're actually going to follow him.
Absolutely. Like, I might not be your...
I said so.
Yeah, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm half retarded, so you get what you get when you watch my channel. Gun
Owners of America guy. Nothing much I can say that's bad about that. 2A guy's wearing an Otis tactical hat right now, but he's got so many of them he doesn't know what to do with. So
I'm a hat guy. I'm a hat and shirt guy. Now, yeah, I'm actually affiliated with Otis, but yeah, people see me wear shirts and they just assume that I'm sponsored by those companies, and I'm not. I love shirts, so I just wear whatever. If companies send me shirts, I will wear them. As long as it ain't something stupid, but
Right, fair enough.
But you had brought up High Point earlier. I want to touch on this. Have you seen my High Point thermite videos?
I have not seen your high point thermite videos. I may have to now.
I cannot shit talk High Point. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. I used to, but I can't kill that gun. I got a C9 that was in a house fire.
I can't. I shit talk it just because it's a cheap gun. But at the same time, I agree. Like I've never seen a High Point fail. Yeah.
Well, this thing went to a house fire, and there was two of them. One of them didn't survive. It, it melted in the right spot, and some springs, they overheated.
Right.
But one of them,
you probably could have sent that into them, and they'd have rebuilt it and sent it right back to you.
Absolutely. Probably before I took the thermite to it. I took the thermite. It completely demolished one of them and melted a gigantic hole in the slide of the other one. And it was all melted in. It had slag on the inside. And I was able to take some needle nose pliers and just pop that shit out of there. And I replaced the spring, and that thing runs as good as a new one. It's pretty incredible. Right. Yeah, you got to check it out. It's like a 3 video series. I did 3 different videos on it.
Definitely have to check them out. Dr. Cat Milk says subscribed because fellow Kentuckian.
Hey, awesome.
Hey, Cat Milk, are you still stuck in that basement? Is this got you yet? I haven't seen a video of anybody rescuing you yet. So just asking for a friend. So yeah, High Point, at least we're not Jimenez. That's kind of funny. But I've never seen a High Point fail under normal use. Like
yeah.
People hold on, to the whole like it's a ghetto gun. It's this. It is a piece of shit. It's a chunky fucking doesn't feel right piece of shit, but it works.
It does work.
Like
No.
I've seen more 1911s fail out of the box than I've ever seen a high point fail, period.
Mario said direct blowback. Yeah, direct blowback does contribute a lot to that. And direct blowback guns, their barrels are mounted to the frame, and they're usually more accurate than
incredible suppressor hosts too.
Absolutely.
So
But
it's the same as the old Berettas, right? The direct blowback, a great suppressor host. They're chunky, they feel ugly. There's very few companies who can make a fucking Beretta feel good. I know there's a couple of them out there, so don't fucking chastise me, but it's the same as a high point, really. It is a high point in a bigger frame.
It is.
Polished up and made to look less like a turd.
See, my whole point was to destroy the high point, and I failed at that because I was trying to show Dr. Matt up Demolition Ranch.
Oh, yep.
And I completely failed. He couldn't destroy it. I couldn't destroy it. I don't know. We'll see. Now, I'm having a naming contest for that gun. So if you guys go watch the last video, feel free to drop a name. Give me something crazy. We're going to be picking that and pick a winner. And we'll send them something cool, like a high point carbine or, something like that.
Again, another thing that for some reason works. So there is that. So chunky and ugly sounds like my previous relationships. Motherfucker, sounds like me. Like, Jesus, chunky and ugly, man. What do you got? So if you could put a beard on a high point, it would be me.
That's why I grow my beard. I don't want to see what's underneath this mess.
Dude, I'm afraid to know what's under my fucking beard. Like, it has been 9 years since I've seen any part of my chin, and that's because I had chops. So I'm like, I told the wife, I'm thinking, let's go back to the chops. I'm like, she's like, no, don't. I was just like,
didn't like the chops, huh?
It's just, I think it was kind of an awkward situation for her, but at the same time, like, I literally got a professional job in an engineering department with chops. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's attitude.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't think companies would hire me.
The only reason
I'm way too attached to this thing.
I work at a company that would hire anybody with a beard, I think.
Yeah.
Our best employees all have beards.
Yeah.
It's straight up.
Well, I'm co-owner of the company I work for, so it don't really.
That works too.
Yeah.
I'm co-owner of a company that doesn't succeed. We just barely make do. That's all I need.
Hey, man, keep grinding that grind. That's how you eventually, make it.
Yep. So,
yeah, man.
Yeah, my daughter would be pissed if I shaved. She hasn't seen I haven't seen my face in more than 5 years. It's been 9 years probably since I've seen a cheek.
Yeah.
Like an actual, like an under cheek here. Which is why if I did anything, I'd probably go back to the chops because I'm like, it would just be like a small section, right? I would get to feel for it and feel like if I could take the wind hitting my face again. Like, yeah, that's the big thing. Like, I ride a Harley. I'm not sure I could feel that wind again.
Yeah, I'm not sure my kids would even recognize me without a beard.
It'd be a good test. I'm thinking it'll be a good test when my kids are like 12. Like, just come home fucking like waxed one day. Like, how's it going? I'd probably get shot. Like,
right.
There's an intruder in our house.
Oh, that's great. But hey, thanks for having me on tonight, man.
Yeah, no, it's been.
We got to do this again.
Definitely, like I said, description down below, all the Linktree stuff for GunDoctor TV. I'm gonna let him go because it is 10:46 p.m. his time.
It is,
and he's an early riser, so he'll be up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Probably.
Absolutely, yeah.
Busting his ass on no sleep at all. So,
hey, gotta do what you gotta do, man.
I appreciate it. And for everybody who stopped by tonight, appreciate it as well. We will come back in 2 weeks with another guest. I don't know who it's going to be yet. Don't hit me up. But if you want to know early, be in the Discord because once I get it confirmed, that's where I post it. So Discord is probably not in the description. It might be. I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck's down there anymore. I know what I put down there today, and I know the link tree's down there. I know how you can support JSD Supply is down there, and that's all that fucking matters for this week. So
yeah, I was getting ready to say I was going to end with that. Go buy a shirt. Go support JSD.
It's like
that guy's in the fight.
Get yourself a great shirt. They're making like $10 on the fucking shirt. It's not huge, but at least you get something in return.
Absolutely.
And it's a JSD Supply shirt. And you get to fucking throw your finger up to the ATF. So
absolutely.
Yeah, another penetration for Mario. I can do that. And after this penetration, we will end it. So should we go full? Go little? Go full? Yeah, we'll go full. Thanks again for stopping by. GunDoctor TV, link tree down below if you want to get into his YouTube or his YouTubes, because he's got more than one.
I do.
He's also got his Instagram down there. Go follow him on that. It's a good shit. And then also, while you're looking and you see on GunDoctor TV and Instagram, look at recent posts that he's been tagged in, and you'll find something from Trollworks. Go subscribe. Go hit
Absolute
them guys up.
gold.
Fucking gold shit. I recently just found them as well. Phenomenal stuff they've been posting, and they post like that all the fucking time. So it's definitely worth the follow too. So Trollworks on Instagram, as well as the gentleman that's sitting in front of us. Without further ado, Mario penetrates.
Penetration! You didn't like that? Oh, what about this? Penetration!
Thanks for stopping by, folks. Thanks for being a great guest, and I will see y'all next week where we try not to have naked children on my show.